American and Japanese trade relations officially began in 1854 with the Convention of Kanagawa. Japanese ports opened for American vessels, which ended over 2 centuries of national seclusion. Now, 170 years later, and Baker Creek is at the forefront of Japanese seed exploration and import. We caught up with the well-traveled Japanese seed hunters, Robert McGuinness, Mayumi Nasu, and Mark Weidman.
Yeah, so sourcing seeds in Japan really requires us to do a lot of legwork. Japan is a very in-person based culture, so we talk to breeders and farmers.
There is a lot of small-scale farmers in Japan compared to the United States. They're trying to collect old species and different temperature and find those seeds.
We are seed hunters. I'm the Indiana Jones of seeds. Our whole goal is to find seeds to perpetuate the biodiversity of our food supply. Rob and Mayumi had taken us to one of the test fields. We had zucchini, we had eggplant, we had the pearl goya. Sometimes we have gone into locations and the reception was bitter cold. It was icy until we brought out and presented to them this beautiful Baker Creek catalog. And everyone gathered around to have their turn to leaf through the Baker Creek catalog. And they were oohing and ahhing, oh, that looks like our carrot. Oh, that looks like our cucumber. And it opened the door.
Moriguchi daikon, that super long one that we have growing here.
Oh, dude, that is an incredible shot. Look at that.
The Sakurajima daikon, which is this massive radish, can grow up to 30 kilograms. I'm not sure what that is in pounds.
Baker Creek made 8 feet Moriguchi daikon, so it's a world record.
So they're not directly in the soil. We built special.
Yeah, special tubes, plastic tubes with soil in them. Yeah, we'll cut them open and peel it, and the radish will just be.
I wanted to buy some of the big vegetables that they grow, but some of the seeds, but you know.
We got the one very long cucumber.
We did get a long cucumber, which is supposed to be a melon, I think, but we're going to try.
I am surprised how many of my things that I purchased are actually from Japan.
Just as they are about the Sakurajima daikon radish, they're quite serious about their carrots.
Mitch and I were recently in Okinawa to film some content. You can see some of the carrots there.
Wow, this Shimaninjin is as sweet as a pineapple. I love it. This carrot's so long, it could be a pirate's sword.
I was delighted at what they presented. They were very engaging.
Are you an onion head? Hello, minasan konnichiwa. I got my hands dirty. From rare vegetables to centuries-old cultivars, Japan is home to some of the most incredible heirloom seeds in the world, each carrying a story of Japan's rich agricultural history.
There might be a little valley somewhere that has been growing the same carrot for 300 years, and that is their carrot.
A lot of people believe that when something grows in the soil of one particular location, it can't be reproduced in the soil of another location. But a lot of the seeds have originally come from somewhere else.
This ancient root has been grown here in Okinawa for over 400 years. These bumpy beauties have been part of Okinawa's culture for centuries.
Some varieties and some seeds were introduced to Japan during China's Tang Dynasty. It goes back over 1,000 years. So they've been using these wonderful varieties and some seeds that actually originally came from China. The Silk Road.
Uncovering these amazing gems is one of the main directives that we get from Baker Creek.
Japanese plant breeders are masters at what they do, and it's not just edible crops. They've also honed the skill on flowers, and they're creating things that are out of this world.
Check out this right here, just pinker than a panther's tail, just radical and vibrant, full of beauty and color.
Baker Creek has a lot of existing relationships with seed companies in Japan. We maintain those relationships and we build new relationships.
And Komiyano-san, I see that you did include quite a bit of English.
そこまで気を使っちゃって。いえいえ。で、これはもうすでに
試験をしていただいた去年サンプルでお渡しした
We were introduced to a primrose grower who produces these amazing rose-shaped primroses.
I guess they probably kind of like the really dark and then the really light pastel light.
Pastel mixes.
The stuff in the middle is more common, so it's not as exciting.
Colors that might be popular in Japan may not even register on the interest meter here in the US.
We know purple tends to be more popular. Recently, dark flowers have become a popular trend, and people enjoy like the Victorian dark side of gardening.
If it's going to be a pink, let's get a series of pinks so that we have a mix. If it's going to be yellow, let's have a series of yellows. Probably the lighter colors like the yellows and the whites, not so interesting, but the purples, the reds, the orange, those would be of great interest.
That was going to be super popular. That will be maybe the best seller because of the stripes.
I wonder, would it be possible to do zebra, like rose, zebra orange, with the striping go to other colors?
20 years.
No pressure. When someone's been in the business for over 30 years, as many of these breeders have been, then they know what they're selecting for. And if you ask for it, why not just see what their answer is?
They're so happy to show off. I can do anything. That's what their attitude are.
Magical culture.
That might be
Amulets.
some kind of
That's an interesting one.
translation miss, maybe.
Maybe it's like egg, like the blue egg.
Oh yeah, like the Araucana chickens.
Yeah, they've got like pretty.
Jared's like, oh, this just doesn't work for me.
When we meet with Japanese seed companies, there can be some confusion, not necessarily between the languages, but the meaning behind the words.
It's like a poem.
Oh, poetry, not.
So it's not supposed to be
Not chicken.
poultry.
You tell them what it means.
Yeah. Niwatori no imi nan desu yo. Poultry no suzuri ga, kore ga, niwatori no imi na. And it's only it's a misspelling.
Let's change this.
Yeah, so he said, oh, it has nothing to do with chickens.
One of the things that we do when we're in those meetings is ensure that the essence of what's being said is delivered in the second language.
But yeah, thank you. Yeah, we can continue.
I can see our favorite one is coming up on the next page. That's the one.
These are beautiful in the garden. Both.
We were able to get some amazing feedback, and these growers are excited to introduce these new developments to Baker Creek and through Baker Creek.
Nobody has this series.
Except Baker Creek.
Baker Creek is the only company.
This is like a fun stage of development where you get to create what's going to happen.
But you would be growing with him. It would be a collaborative effort. So he wants to grow with you. That's the offer. That's what he's conveying. What we got today was a promise from Asahi Noan to link up and exclusively work with Baker Creek.
Wow.
Rob, I don't need translation for wow.
Somebody that is working with such amazing varieties and techniques in their breeding, and they're wanting to just work through us to do so. I mean, you can't get more rare than that. After the blooms die off, would they come back?
でも環境によってはペレルニアルになるかもしれない。
It could. He said it just depends upon the environment.
We have customers all the time that are asking us specifically, I love this flower. Is it a perennial? Will it come back? We are both testing the flowers here and there. We definitely want to have that information before we start selling the product.
これはダブルフラワーね。
And with the duet series, those were very beautiful.
So in this series, we had a lot of off types.
Getting seeds from Japan into the catalogue available for consumers here in the States, it does take quite a lot of time. We have to know that it grows well here and that consumers will be happy with them.
Would it be better to pick out like 30 different ones? Or would it be better to pick out like 8 or 10 different ones?
It takes about 1 to 2 years for them to be able to produce that seed. So when we first take a picture and show it off online, it could be a year or two before customers actually receive that seed at the door.
この株はもともと八重咲きの小さい株で、これが花になるとこうなりました。
He's very, very excited to see them growing so well over here. They're doing really well.
Yes, happy.